Please tell me that I can't, that I won't, that I fail, that I'll never make it out, yeah. Please tell me all the bad, never good, fill my head full of every single doubt, yeah. Please say any negative thoughts, I pop off when I hear people say I cannot. I get off to the thought of proving everyone wrong, I won't stop to the top, so you better back off and get lost. I'ma stay loud, stay proud, never running out, never heading south. I'll be spreading out, call it word of mouth, can't put me down, I'll be getting loud. You can have it doubts, not what I'm about, have your f***ing cloud, it be raining now. I keep making sound, go another round, I'm legend bound, can't stop me now. You don't wanna fuck with me, a slow burn like a disease. Just tell me that I can and I'll show you things that you couldn't believe. Just tell me that I can. Just tell me that I can. Just tell me that I can. Just tell me that I can.
What's going on, everybody? And thank you for tuning in to an episode of Unscripted here on a beautiful Saturday night. You got my boy Jay McLovin here with me. How you doing today, Jay?
Hey, I am doing wonderful, man. I'm doing wonderful. I got my boy Frankie, the Yankee Foxborough Frankie. I got multiple Frankies. How can you not have a good day when you got this many Frankies to hang out with?
I know, right? It's only one guy that can have so many names and just be so successful with those names and just rock it out. It's just wonderful. But we're going to have a wonderful show for you guys here tonight. We're hoping and praying that Robert Duran Jr. hops on at some point. I am trying to get in contact with him, but I'm getting nothing back. Hopefully he gets back to me soon. But for right now, it's just going to be me and Jay. Hopefully we get some more people hopping in. We know Rob Scott, Rob 2 cents, or what Jay likes to say, Rob $1.25. Is gonna hop on here later. But Jay, let's get down to it. First of all, I want to say breaking news for the guy Peyton. What's his name again? Jay Peyton
Hillis.
Yeah, Peyton Hillis. He has came out of the hospital today from the near death experience that he had saving his kids from almost drowning. So he was in critical condition, but we got the news today that he has been released from the hospital and he is going home to his family and he gets to watch some football tonight. So good news on that, Jay.
Yeah, absolutely, man. You know, it seems like this year has really gotten off to a crazy start. Obviously we had Damar Hamlin. He went down with that arrhythmia, went into cardiac arrest, gets taken to the hospital. We don't know what's going to happen with him. You know, thoughts and prayers are going out. We're asking God for help and condolences and things of that nature to keep the family straight. And then not even a week or so later, then Peyton Hillis goes down, rescuing his children from the ocean, and now he's on life support. Just a matter of weeks, man. And hey, I just know I serve an awesome God, man. And both these men are going to survive. They're going to be great. They're going to go on to live their lives. These children are going to go on to experience their dad. Damar's going to probably he's either going to go back into football or he'll do another venture, but he's going to be successful no matter what he's doing. But both of these men are lived to see another day. So what looked like was going to be a rough start to, the new year actually turned out to be a good start to the new year. So, man, hey, I don't know about you, Frankie, man, but there's lots to be thankful for, brother.
Yes, there's very lots to be thankful for. We could be talking about bad news with these two players, one former player and one current player. It could have been really bad. But on the opposite side, we got some great news on both of them. Both of them going home from being literally near-death experience. So that's really great news for both of them. Right now, we're gonna keep you guys updated on the plays and the scores for tonight's game against the Eagles and the Giants. But we're going to go ahead and talk about the first game that happened today with the Kansas City Chiefs, who are advancing to their fifth straight AFC Championship game, where they ended the Jacksonville Jaguars' playoff hopes with a final score 27-20. Jay, let's get down to it with the Kansas City Chiefs. Patrick Mahomes did get injured in this game around the second quarter, early into the second quarter, with a high ankle sprain. That I heard from Ian Rappaport. It was a high ankle sprain. He ended up coming back out and playing the second half, but he did not look really good coming out of that second half. He was limping on handoff passes, and he was standing on one leg during throw passes. What does this say or mean for Kansas City going into next week, knowing that they have to either face one or two of the toughest teams in the AFC, in my thought, on the Buffalo Bills and Cincinnati Bengals?
Yeah, man. A high ankle sprain is nothing to joke around. And he's only going to have a week to prepare for either the Buffalo Bills or the Cincinnati Bengals, depending on who gets the win out of that game. I ain't gonna lie, man. Look, Kansas City, they walked away with the win, but in hindsight, this could have been, they could be walking away from a next loss, depending on how well Mahomes comes out and plays, if he does play next game. I got to be honest with you, Frankie, man. If I'm the Bengals or if I'm the Bills, whoever wins that game, if I'm going into Kansas City, if the Bills play KC, it's going to be in Atlanta. And then I think if the Bengals play KC, I think it's at Arrowhead. So, I mean, honestly, if you're KC, clearly you want the Bengals to win because you want to play at Arrowhead. You want to be in front of your home crowd. But if I'm the Bengals and I know they got a gimpy high ankle sprain messed up Patrick Mahomes, I'm not saying that that's a give-me game. But you got to admit, Frankie, I don't know if he could go an entire game competitively and pull out. I know Mahomes. Hey, look, Patrick Mahomes got all respect. Trust me, I get it, man. All the respect. But can he compete at a high level coming off that high ankle sprain with only a week of recovery time, Frankie? I got to be honest with you, man. I think that puts the favor into the opponent, whichever one it may be that goes against KC.
Yeah, and I agree. And those two teams are gonna look at that and know that Patrick Mahomes is not gonna go in there 100%. He's gonna definitely be over 50%. This is Patrick Mahomes. Even with the high ankle sprain, he had an outstanding performance today in securing the Kansas City Chiefs advancing to the next round. But he's definitely not going to be 100%. And he's not going against a team like the Jacksonville Jaguars anymore. He's going against tougher teams. One team that defeated him last year in the championship round in the Cincinnati Bengals, and then another team that he has a history of always beating in the Buffalo Bills. So it's going to be really tough for Patrick Mahomes to come out next week and have a good game and be victorious and hopefully advancing over to Arizona in the Super Bowl. But with us right now, our boy Rob Scott, who Jay likes to call Rob $1.25. What's going on, Rob Scott? How you doing today?
What's going on, y'all? How y'all feeling?
Hey, I got a little bit of the yak, so we're all right.
Hey, I got a little bit of the blunt, so it equals out, boy.
Yeah, look. All I know is right now my ticket looked really good.
You picked the Chiefs, I'm assuming.
No, I didn't pick a winner or a loser. Everybody who I said was going to score a touchdown scored a touchdown so far.
Oh, so you're betting on who throws touchdowns? Is that how you're betting?
Yeah, so I bet Kelsey was going to catch a touchdown. I bet ETN was going to run for one, and I bet Christian Kirk was going to get a touchdown. So right now I'm looking good.
Yeah, Rob, speaking of, obviously, I know you watched the game today. I know you saw that.
Man, I saw a legendary Hall of Fame worthy performance.
Oh, yeah, no doubt.
You saw an early AARP member going down on the field. That's what you see.
Hey, you know what though? That I think a lot of that competitiveness sometimes is missing in today's game.
Oh yeah.
So it felt really good to see a player gut it out, understanding the significance of what's on the line here.
I shared a picture today on Facebook that reminds me a lot of that, Rob. It was a guy that was getting – it was an actual game from back in the day. It was the Jets versus somebody. And I think it was Joe Namath. And Joe Namath
Jets versus Raiders.
His face, and the dude's getting tackled. And it was something like, like this is like roughing the passer. Not that crap they call in today's
touchdown. Early into the game, ladies and gentlemen.
Goater.
Jalen Hurts Jalen Hurts just threw a passing touchdown to Goddard, early lead for the Philadelphia Eagles.
He loves to use that Goddard, man. I tell you, that's not the first time I've seen him throw like that. He uses Goddard a lot like Tom used Gronkowski, it seems like.
Well, if you know Jay, they got rid of Zach Ertz to keep this guy Goddard, so that tells a lot.
Hey, but Goddard is a dog. You know, you see, he just caught a short pass, and pretty much he put the team on his back and said, "I'm going to the end zone."
He just did a Madden play just now. Honestly, he caught it and he did a spin off into the end zone, securing a touchdown for the Eagles. Now they're up 7-0 early in the first quarter with 10 minutes left. Which, by the way, Jalen Hurts threw a bomb pass to Smith, and that's what set
Dante
it up
Smith
for the Eagles. Dante Smith, sorry, for early pass. This is going to be a great game, and I'm expecting the Eagles to come out with a victory.
Oh yeah. But to talk about that Chiefs game, Jay, you bring up an interesting point. See, I think Pat had, he had, adrenaline pumping. You know, he was ready to get to this game and get back in the game. But now you about to have a week off that ankle. Now that adrenaline is gone, how much will that affect him? That's going to be a big question.
Also, Rob, they heavily taped his ankle. So
They did.
What is that ankle going to look like once it's able to breathe when they take the tape off and remove the cleat? How fat is that ankle going to get? Because I'm a man of many previous ankle injuries, and I can tell you right now, every time I had an ankle injury, I would retie my shoe to stop the pressure from hurting and the ankle from swelling up. This man had heavy tape, so playing on it still with heavy tape, it's gonna look really nasty taking that off.
Oh yeah, he gonna definitely be feeling that in the morning.
So what version do you think, if when we see them go up against either, like I said, the Bills or the Bengals, what version of Pat Mahomes, do you think we're going to see the hobbled, or do you think we'll still see a somewhat competitive version? And if so, if you're the Bills or the Bengals, how much does this now work into your favor, Rob?
I mean, I honestly, if I'm the Bills or the Bengals, first of all, you got to worry about this game. They got to get through each other tonight. But I'm also knowing in the back of my head, I got a smile on my face because I'd rather take on a hobbled Patrick Mahomes than take on a healthy guy that's running, and creating extended time in the pocket because of his legs. That's a weapon. His legs are a weapon. I'm not saying he's Lamar Jackson fast or Jalen Hurts or Justin Fields, but Pat Mahomes can still move, and he's very savvy in the pocket. He has great feet work, as Shaq like to say. So now you take away one of them feet.
No doubt about it. And that's what I'm saying. So like Frankie, based on what Rob is saying, kind of what I'm saying, what we talked about with that ankle and things of that nature, how long, number one, how long do you think Patrick can go in that AFC divisional game? And then is it divisional? Yeah, it's divisional, right?
No, it's the AFC championship.
No, this is the championship. His
You're right.
fifth straight AFC championship appearance.
Yeah, that's crazy. But let me ask you this. Do you think that Pat Mahomes can make it to the end of the game, or do you think we'll see Henny at some point playing?
I definitely think that the Kansas City Chiefs are going to play Patrick Mahomes throughout the whole thing, depending if he gets injured or not during that game. Because let's be realistic, Patrick Mahomes don't need to practice. If you guys can agree with me, he literally can sit out the entire week, not practice, but still play. I mean, he has to show up to at least one practice in order for him to be eligible to play if he's not put on an injured list or anything like that. But I mean, he doesn't need to practice with this team because this team is running under him. So, I mean, if they want to rest Patrick Mahomes through practice week and let him heal up that ankle a little bit, we're going to see a little hobble Patrick Mahomes next week. No doubt about it. He will have some hobble into there, but his playing game is not going to be different. And you've seen it today, even with the hobble, that he can still close out a game and make sure that the Kansas City Chiefs get a victory. I think Patrick Mahomes will play throughout the entire thing. But if he gets injured at one point in this game, if I'm the Chiefs, depending on how the game situation is looking, if you're up or if you're down by close digits, it's best to go to the backup because the backup actually had a pretty good solid excuse me, he had a pretty good solid drive when he came in. You know,
That was a clutch.
he started at the 2 yard line of his very own and ended up getting a touchdown for the Kansas City Chiefs. So that shows right there that they can rely on their backup quarterback. So, but I do expect Andy Reid and the Chiefs to extend Patrick Mahomes to playing that entire game because it's not a divisional and it's not a wild card, Jay. It's an AFC Championship, a trip to the Super Bowl. And when you get that trip to the Super Bowl, you get a 2-week rest period.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the thing, though. So let me ask you this. Patrick Mahomes goes out there, plays in the game. What is the chances of him damaging that ankle even worse and doing more damage to it? Is it going to be a detriment to Pat Mahomes to play in this game with that high ankle sprain and little recovery time?
Well, I think, we all know Andy Reid, and he's an offensive lineman when he played in his times in the NFL. So if I'm Andy Reid, my first thought right now is focus on the offensive line, and the first thing you got to tell them is next week it's a protect Patrick Mahomes type of game. So you guys got to make sure you hold your line and you protect Patrick Mahomes. Don't even let a man get to him. If you do, if I'm Andy Reid, I'm saying if you let a man get past you, you're going to be sitting out this game.
Yeah, and I think the worst he can do now is break it. It's a bad.
You're right. You're right.
It's a bad sprain. I mean, he runs that same risk even if he's playing on a healthy ankle. So I think.
Let me ask you this though, and Nate, hey man, glad to have you on the show, brother. If you can chime in on this too as well, man. So what if he goes out there, he plays? He's obviously going to have to favor that knee or that ankle at some level. Could favoring that ankle lead to other injuries like Achilles or anything else down that stretch because he is favoring it and putting that ankle at different angles? I mean, could further injury come out of that? Likely.
Oh yeah, 100%. I do think that there is there's definitely a lot of risk when coming to this, but you got to ask yourself: there's a specific shot? Like, what would you rather have? Get to the chance where you're missing some time out of next season just because you wanted to play in this game, or risk the chance of not playing in this game and not winning this game just so that he can play in this next season. So, I mean, it's kind of, you gotta have to look at the risk, but you also gotta look, is the risk worth the reward?
Well, and that's the whole point. Because what if the reward, or what if the risk is, that he tears an Achilles? Now he's got an Achilles and he's got a high ankle sprain that he's dealing. And I don't mean to put ill will on Pat, but this is NFL and things can happen. I mean, I guess could this game could put them out there for a solid game and him having to play on that hobbled ankle, could that lead to further injury? That could be maybe not as gratuitous to the team as this. But again, you play for the highest level, and so I understand what Rob is saying and what Frankie is saying, and Nate, I know you're probably saying the same thing. Yeah, he's got a ankle sprain, but bro, look, we in a conference championship. We don't give a damn because Pat's going to go out there because that's what he get paid all that money for. I just wonder what the ramifications are going to be after he's done playing. We could be looking at a worse injury, or is he going to be good to go for even if he makes it to the Super Bowl?
Yeah, I mean, Frankie alluded to it earlier. I think he's going to be just fine. Patrick Mahomes is a veteran, so he understands what's at stake and he understands what he has to do to protect himself. He's not going to put himself in trouble to take any of those hits. He's going to get rid of the ball quickly. I believe they're going to coach up the offensive line. They're going to come out a little tougher. He's already motivated his team just by him stepping back out there on the field and not only stepping out there, but getting the W. They get past this next obstacle. He got 2 weeks to relax, to get that ankle okay. I think Patrick Mahomes will be just fine.
Okay, and Frankie, I guess my question for you is like, now that he does have this hobbled injury, how does that affect the game calling for the Chiefs? Are they going to pass more now because they can't really mobilize him? Are they going to run the ball more and try to take some of the pressure off of him? How does that really affect their game planning going now versus how they would have done it had he not had the injury?
Hold on, Jay. My bad. Take that question. Nate, can you answer that question?
So, I guess to answer that question, I think that I think what you're going to see a little bit more is not necessarily running plays, not necessarily long passing plays, but I think you're going to see a lot more short passes, and then maybe some of your slot receivers go out and just start running after those short passes are being performed. Not ones that you have to like throw for 35 yards, but passes that you can throw to a guy off and he just takes off after.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Rob, before we move on to the next subject, man, you got anything you want to add into that?
Nah, like I say, I think right now it was gonna be a tough game regardless, ankle injury or not. I mean, both the Bills and the Bengals are two of the strongest teams in the AFC. So I'm looking forward to next week. I definitely can't wait to give some predictions on that game a little later on in the week. And enjoying some great football right now. Right now, the Giants trying to march down and answer the call that the Eagles came out with that first scoring opening drive. So we got some great football ahead of us right now, man. We got some great football ahead. I hope Pat Mahomes is okay, but right now, man, people should be looking at Pat Mahomes. I know a lot of people hate using that young GOAT comparison, man, but 5 straight AFC championship games, man, appearances. Hey, you gotta love it, man. This dude, he doesn't know nothing but championship games since he's been a starter in the NFL.
Hey, Rob, you know who else made those kind of appearances, though? Hey, Rob, you know who else made those kind of appearances? Jim Kelly.
Tom Brady.
Hey, look, you know how many times Jim Kelly done gone down to that Super Bowl only to come away with empty pockets? God.
Hey, I get you, but still, to get to the Super Bowl is a hard task in itself.
Oh, absolutely. I just
want to point out that throughout those 5 straight championship appearances for them, we stopped them on the first 2. So just want to say that.
Hey, let me ask you this, man. What does this now mean for Jacksonville? Like, how are we going to be looking at Jacksonville come next year?
They're going to be more dominant next year, Jay. You want to know why? They got somebody who wasn't able to play this year. He was suspended, and the man's name is Calvin Ridley. He's coming back next year.
Next year is going to be scary as hell, man.
So, one little side conversation, not really getting off topic, but kind of am. This whole thing that's about this whole why he got suspended in the first place. He betted against his own team, the Atlanta Falcons, who are playing against the team that he's playing as right now. Well, playing as next year, the Jacksonville Jaguars. And now he's traded. Now he's traded onto the Jacksonville Jaguars once trade deadline comes. That is probably the best part about this.
That is ironic, though, the fact that him and Jacksonville are connected like that. But it is what it is. And he's still playing. No, Pete Rose can't get a damn attention to the damn.
But that Jacksonville team, they won't be up under the radar, though. I mean, people gonna know that they have arrived.
They're being coached by a great person. They're being coached by a great man in Doug Peterson.
Yes,
a guy that everybody forgot gave the Philadelphia Eagles their first ever Super Bowl, and they're only a Super Bowl. So don't overlook Doug Peterson. And then people say, he's back in the NFL. Can he do what he do? Man, he just took a team that was worse in the NFL last year, who had the number 1 overall draft pick last year, into the divisional round against the Kansas City Chiefs in Arrowhead. If that doesn't answer, if that don't answer your question, man, I don't know what you guys are watching.
Oh yeah, no, absolutely.
Yeah,
I mean, absolutely.
And
Doug,
they started
Doug,
off, and they started off ugly. Let's not forget that they started off in a losing record and turned it around mid-season.
yeah. I mean, if their season wasn't so successful, I mean, it took a lot of attention from the not the Giants, but the Lions, who were doing the same thing in the NFC. You know, I mean,
Oh yeah, they're
Jacksonville.
definitely making a comeback too. I mean, there's a lot of teams that just were dog water or horrible. Like you said, the Lions, the Jets, and all these teams are Jacksonville, and now these guys are starting to make comebacks. And teams like the Browns are over there struggling. Again, I think the Browns are going to. I think once you get a full year under Deshaun, they're going to be fine. But
well, that just goes to show that having all those horrible years of always being, the worst in the NFL and stuff like that, it pays off later in life. Like literally, it really does pay off. You're getting all the high draft picks, you're getting all the save cap space money and everything like that, and it gets to a point like this in the franchise where one day you looked at it and you're like, damn, we had an 0-16 season, to a day where you're like, man, we were close to making it to the playoffs. We're going to be a contending team next year for sure.
yeah, I think that who was that? Urban Meyer hire last year for Jacksonville is probably going to go down as the worst hire ever. I can't imagine there being a better hire or a worse hire than that. It just set him back. It set him back a year, but man, what an amazing turnaround Doug Peterson has been for this franchise.
Yeah, well, Doug Peterson, Dougie P, as I like to call him, coach, has always shown that he's pretty good, especially with quarterback development. I mean, we look at Carson Wentz. At one point in time, Carson Wentz was looked at as an MVP in this league. That was under Dougie.
I remember that too.
And now you look at the development. We see like Trevor Lawrence really step out of his shell with Urban Meyer gone and Dougie P taking over in Jacksonville. We see T. Law. Hey, when you start to do things like I said, you start to get a nickname. So now it's not Trevor anymore. That's T. Law. And T. Law, man, he's gonna be a very young, exciting quarterback. He's gonna have to stop taking so many risks. He kind of reminds me of Brett Favre in that aspect. Like he likes to take risks. Hey, we talking about a big play quarterback. Hey, T. Law is coming, and I think a lot of that has to do with the arrival of Dougie P, coach.
And let me ask you another question in reference to this Chiefs now, though. Now that they're getting ready for the conference championship game, who do the Chiefs want to play? Do you want to play Buffalo or do you want to play Cincy? Me personally, I'm going to say Buffalo because I feel like they don't have as good of a running game. I feel like Cincinnati, if you got to play Cincinnati, you got to do a Mixon, and Mixon is a really good run threat. So for me, I'd probably want to play Buffalo, but who do y'all think they want to play?
If I'm the Chiefs, I want to wipe that bad taste out of my mouth last year.
Yes.
I want the Bengals. I want you.
and not just that. Patrick Mahomes already got it in his mindset, and the Chiefs itself. They got it in their mindset of we know how to beat Buffalo. We know we can beat Buffalo. We've done it more than once, not just only in this situation, but in regular seasons as well. They have the Buffalo Bills number. Like Rob said, if I'm the Chiefs and I'm Patrick Mahomes and I'm Andy Reid, I want to go against the Cincinnati Bengals to prove to the world and prove to yourselves that you can beat these guys and you want redemption and you want it against the team that took you out last year in this very season.
Yeah, absolutely.
And not to mention, I think the Bengals got the best of them in the regular season too.
No, they lost. They lost to the Chiefs in the regular season.
Did they lose?
Yeah,
no, they beat the Chiefs earlier this season.
Yeah, they beat the Chiefs.
Yeah,
because it's being said like Joe Burrow got Pat Mahomes' number.
Oh, that's right. Yes, that is right. I forgot. Yep, they won by like 3, right? If I'm not mistaken.
27-24, I think, was the final.
Yeah.
You got to imagine that the Buffalo Bills want to win so bad because they just like the Chiefs want to get that Joe Burrow taste out of the mouth. Well, they want to get Patrick Mahomes in that 13 seconds out of the Bills' mouth. So you got to imagine both of those teams. I personally would like to see the Bills and Chiefs. I want to see a rematch of that 13-second loss.
I don't think the Bills.
I don't think you'll capture that magic anymore, though.
I don't think the Bills' mindset will be okay. Let's get that redemption against the Chiefs from a couple of years ago. the Bills' mindset right now is let's get a Super Bowl win for DeMar Hamlin. All their mind is right now.
Woo! Woo! Dante Smith scored, baby. That's another one down. Let's go.
Yes,
I'm sorry.
The Philadelphia Eagles scored another. The Philadelphia Eagles scored another touchdown against the New York Giants, now leading at 14-0. Apparently, Rob Scott is ahead of me.
Hey, that Devontae Smith, he's something else, ain't he?
I need 2 more people to score.
He's not a prototypically large guy. He's such a small receiver, but he does so well.
I just want to say when Rob started wooing, I thought Mike Hughes hopped in for a second.
I'm sorry, y'all. I'm sorry.
I looked down and said, "Damn, Mike coming in here with the woos."
Nah, that's the excitement of the game, man.
No, I agree. I wish I could celebrate the hell out too, but if I start screaming like that, my wife's gonna probably smack me. Trust me, I don't want nothing. There's nothing more I want than the New York Giants to be eliminated right now in the playoffs.
Oh man, that would be nice. Oh man, that would be nice.
Oh, you know what's gonna be even nicer? What's gonna be nicer is watching the Cowboys go down to the 49ers tomorrow, baby.
I think they will.
Look at Jay. Oh God!
Hey, look! I'm not mad, man. Hey, look, Frankie gotta let that hate out some kind of way. His New England Patriots aren't there, so I mean, I don't blame him. You gotta let it out some kind of way.
Hey,
what a rough year this has been for you, though, Frankie. Your Patriots don't do nothing. Your Lakers don't do nothing. Who's your basketball team? Your basketball
Lakers got a huge victory last night.
Thank you, Rob. Thank you.
That was a huge victory last night, man.
Get out of here,
This is a
Jake.
really weird part of the year. Teams I normally don't like to root for, I found rooting for in the past couple of days.
Don't you ever say my Lakers ain't doing that. We just gotta.
Hey, you did beat Memphis last night. You're right. You did beat Memphis.
Did it show the baby?
Hey, listen. Everybody gets lucky every once in a while. Speaking of
the things that's hurting the Lakers is injuries, man.
Man,
you can't rely, man. They putting. And you know what? It's just a testament to LeBron to show how great he is. But you got to remember, I get it. He's only 38. That's not really an old age.
36.
But when you put 20 years on that, and you got to remember, when we say 20 years, LeBron has damn near been in the. I think he's only missed the playoffs twice out of them 20 years.
Yeah. The first time it was his rookie year, I believe. And then
so it's like
time was with us.
Yeah, so I mean, you got to think about it like this dude 2 or 3 times at the max. Out of 20 years, you've missed the playoffs. Now we're not even counting All-Star games. We're not counting USA Team Olympic games, FIBA games.
So let me ask you this.
Dude has played a lot of basketball.
This dude been in the playoffs for, let's say, 17 years. Because he said we take off some years for this, that, and the other.
Remember this. Hey, hold on. Caveat to that, though, Jay. Caveat to that.
How does Michael have like 10 or 11?
Because he lost in the finals. It happens. Shit.
Oh, he lost. Okay.
Not only that,
I'm just curious because it didn't take Jordan that many years to get 6. I don't understand.
Look at the people he lost. He lost to a well coached and well played Dallas Mavericks. When he was with the Heat. That was Dirk. That was their year.
If you're playing anybody in the playoffs, you're already playing great teams. I mean,
when he played, look, and I can't even believe I'm defending LeBron.
You get swept.
He took a bunch of
a good team, Jay.
He took a bunch of bums to the finals, man, in Cleveland before he left and went to Miami. He took a bunch of nobodies to the finals. He was definitely gonna lose to the Spurs. Come on, Jay, you name me 3 people from that team. Name me 3 people from that team.
I'm not buying into the bums thing because there's no way a team of bums.
Okay, Jay, name me 3 people from the 2007 Cavalier team.
Well, they had the Kyrie Irving. Damn.
They didn't have Kyrie at that time.
Are you sure? I thought it was Kyrie Irving they had when they got that.
No, Kyrie Irving didn't. Then when they got the championship, I'm talking about the first time he went with Cleveland his first go around.
I'm counting the one where he won with Kyrie. Okay, the first
he took a bunch of bums to the finals. Of course, they was gonna lose to the Spurs. Hey man, you better respect greatness, man. People gonna miss LeBron when he gone.
I do. I respect greatness, but 17 times. Even if you take out that one time, that's still 16 opportunities to come away with at least 6 rings.
I get you.
Just tie him. You ain't got to beat him. Just tie him.
Hey, he got 4 of them.
Okay, but 4 is not 6. And he's done it 20 freaking years. Come on.
Yeah.
I respect greatness too, but you also got to put that same level of greatness, if not more greatness, on Michael's name, given how quickly he did it.
I'm not up here debating on who the GOAT now. You know who I feel is the GOAT. So.
we do, and we know it's MJ. I like LeBron. Don't get me wrong.
I'm just saying, in the process of us acknowledging Mike is the GOAT, whether you agree to it or not, you still have to agree that LeBron is a bad.
He's a bad dude, but you know what else I think it's a lot of disrespect to is Kobe freaking Bean Bryant, man. Come on, even he has more rings,
especially for pride.
And he did it with one team. Same team, never left, never ditched, never went for the easier way, the easier opportunity. Stuck right there with this team, through thick and thin, and got 5 rings. That's one more ring than your boy does, and he's been in the league 20 years. Time to be. That's why I think LeBron is the 3rd best player. Or maybe even 4. I don't know why we look down on Kareem. I think Kareem is another guy that doesn't get nearly the respect that he deserves.
Kobe Bryant has more jersey numbers than NBA teams that he's been on. LeBron has more NBA teams that he's been on than jersey numbers.
Hey, Tony coming in here. Hey, Tony coming in hot and head. Look. I can't tell them that, man. I gotta respect him a little bit, Tony. I can't just disrespect him like that. No, fuck that shit, Nate. Fuck off. I'm kidding, Nate. I'm totally kidding. You tell me to fuck off, too. It's all good. And Tony Gonzalez says Kareem. I don't know why people overlook Kareem. I think that dude gets so overlooked, man.
He should be in everybody's top 10. But he's not even in my top 5. He's not.
Who's your top 5?
It's Mike, Kobe, LeBron, Magic, and Shaq.
I like Shaq. Don't get me wrong. He's done a lot
for the game, bro. I get it. Kareem,
I like your top 5, but I think Kareem is a little bit better than your number 4 and number 5.
No, Magic is
the first 3. I'm down with the first 3. The last 2, I think Magic. Hey, good player. Better than Kareem? Nah, not better than Kareem.
Kareem needed Magic for the rings.
Whoa.
Not really, because he got a ring. Hey, did he get a ring in Minnesota?
Milwaukee.
Or Milwaukee? I apologize, Milwaukee.
Yeah, he got a ring as Luau Center. But let me. There's
a lot of lakes there.
He joined the Lakers in his later years, and remember, he got injured in that first ring that Magic won, and Magic went in and played center. That's how cold Magic was. Magic said, "Don't worry, I'll play center. And we gonna win. We gonna win, and we gonna win." And what did he do? That man had 40, 12, and 8. Come on, bro. Like,
I don't know. How
Magic was different, bro. Magic was different.
When you say there's a lot of teams' names that don't make no sense to me, like when the hell is there a jazz festival in the freaking city of the Mormons? And when the hell is there a lot of lakes in LA? I'm just asking. It's time somebody. Now you're not going to change the Lakers. The Lakers are always going to be the Lakers. But the Jazz, ain't no Jazz Mormons out there. I've been out to Utah. Not a lot of Jazz Mormons. There might be some Episcopal Mormons, but
I'll be out there in Utah for the All-Star game.
People from our church are more likely to play piano than a saxophone.
Nate, are you Mormon, Nate?
I'll tell you about my time in Utah.
And you can look at Nate and tell Nate's not a jazz player and he's Mormon. I mean, I'm just saying, you're not going to see Nate pick up a trumpet and do some BB King. He ain't going to pick up a guitar and call it Lucille. I mean, let's just call it what it is.
You never know. You never know.
If Nate picks up a saxophone and plays some Kenny G in that mug, all right, maybe.
Nate gonna pick up the guitar and play some Jimi Hendrix. You better be careful, bro.
Hey, if he plays some guitar with Jimi Hendrix, I'll be the first one to tell you.
Y'all still haven't guessed what instrument I play yet. I still not.
What do you?
Don't play it. Piccolo?
No.
The flute.
Where's the alternate American Pie?
Harmonica.
I don't play piccolo.
You play a triangle.
Nope.
He said Piccolo.
Nope.
The piccolo. Hey, the piccolo can be a concealed weapon, by the way, just so you know.
All my American Pie fans know what I'm talking about.
Oh, I said, that's what I was saying. Hey, I made the American Pie reference. He said,
the Piccolo.
Yeah, I think that was Shaq, one of Shaq's problems. I think was staying motivated all the time. Shaq had so much stuff he wanted to do. He was trying to rap. He was trying to be in movies. Shaq had all kinds of stuff he wanted.
What do you mean trying to be in a movie? He was in movies.
Shaq laid.
No,
he's trying to be in a movie. You ever seen a Shaq movie? It's not that great.
Yeah, not all his movies wasn't bad. Blue Chips wasn't bad.
Name me a good Shaq movie, please.
Blue Chips wasn't bad.
But he wasn't really the main character on Blue Chips. He was more like the. It
don't matter. He was in the movie.
He was good in Kazam.
Yeah, come on. As a kid, I loved Kazam.
He was even great in Grown Ups Part 1 and 2.
That's what the movie was for. It was for kids.
When we start talking about Kazam, you know we're not talking about no Academy Award.
But what I will tell you is Shaq was laying the foundation for what he is today. He was making his name a brand.
Jay over there acting like he didn't have the Shaq when he was growing up.
He made his name a brand.
Hey, listen, man. Hey, you're not gonna get hey, look, that man's in a lot of commercials. Okay, that man got so many commercials.
No, Jay, don't sleep on the fact that a lot of the commercials he's owner of. Like he's a owner of Papa T's.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. Is he a part of General? He's also does also American General commercials. Is he part owner of that too?
I think he might be.
Yeah, he is.
And I know he got endorsement deals with Buick and all. Man, like Shaq make money. Shaq got like over 50 some.
Of course, Shaq made money. Hey, I didn't say the man was dumb. Of course, he makes money. He knows how to make money.
Shaq, my guy.
I got credit.
But also though, but when I'm talking about players, when I'm naming my top 10, the top 5, talking about what they did on the court, nobody had ever seen nothing like Shaq. Shaq was a freak of nature, bro. To be that big, to move that fast, because people, he didn't win the ring.
Yeah, that's right. I did remember that, Nate. I remember when you said that one time. And I said the fucking clarinet.
He didn't win the ring in his earlier years with Orlando, but what he did with Orlando, boy, he made a expansion team, a perennial playoff team. Like
the instrument Nate plays. What a loser.
Hey, I'll say this. Hey, look, nobody can just get up and play the clarinet. You know how many fucking keys are on that damn instrument? There's so many keys on there, you would get lost.
Why you gotta say the instrument he played? He put it on the private chat for a reason. He didn't want it to be known.
Because we were in the middle of a different conversation. That's why I put it in the private chat.
Nate's not afraid to tell you that he plays. Look, if you can play the clarinet, you can play the saxophone. Nate get their saxophone. He'll pull all the way.
You basically just told the world,
not a
Jay.
bad idea. I was actually kind of considering picking that up.
You basically
you should, man. You can pick up a lot of women with the clarinet. You look at Frankie, man. hey, Frankie want to be able to talk to you, man. That's how many women you gonna pick up with the saxophone, man. Seriously.
Bro, you pick up a
time to be alive, man.
You pick up a saxophone. I'm the guy that's coming in with the washcloth and just shoving it.
Hey, man. Hey, let's talk real quick about this Giants and Eagles, though, man. I've been watching this game a little bit, and it looks like Daniel Jones has kind of come back to a little bit of reality. He's picking up turf out of his helmet. So
at least it's better than
it looks like they had to put contacts back in his face. So I don't know.
Wait,
man.
that happened against the Eagles as well. I said at least better than tripping on ghosts. Oh wait, that happened against the Eagles as well.
Oh, shit. Well, when I look at this Giants team, they're a lot like Jacksonville. I really did not expect the Giants even to get to this level that they've gotten to, and they've done it. But I think Philadelphia is just going to be too much for Dable and this Giants team to take on. I think they're still a few pieces away from truly competing with the likes of an Eagles. But he's still going to tip your hat.
Did Daniel Jones get hit so hard that the contact came out? Is that what happened?
They must have hit him hard enough where that contact came out.
He got hit so hard and the contact came out of his eye?
hey, you saw him put the contact back in.
Seriously, what the hell just happened? Yeah, put that contact back in. It was just on the grass. Go ahead, do it.
He's like, Coach, I can't see which one to throw the ball to. Which one do I throw? Throw the one in the middle. Throw the one in the middle. Damn it. But no, hey, this Giants team, though, from what Dable has done with it, I mean, come on. You got to admit, what Dable has done with the Giants is pretty damn incredible because we all wrote the Giants off as dead, rebuild. No, who could have thought Daniel Jones could have got that? I did not. I was a non-believer in Daniel Jones. I'll be honest with you.
I'm still
kind of a non-believer in him.
I'm still a non-believer in him. It's just.
But I will tell you this, but you got to admit though, Dable has gotten a lot out of that guy that most people couldn't.
Well, people don't know how to use a quarterback really well. Brian Dable is that offensive mindset who knows how to use a quarterback. Let's not forget he learned under Bill Belichick when he was with the Patriots, winning 3 Super Bowls. He learned under Nick Saban when he was with Alabama, winning a national championship there. And then he learned under Sean McDermott over in Buffalo. So he learned under some great coaches to come into the Giants organization and turn Daniel Jones into a quarterback where people can try and believe in him. But I just think, Daniel Jones is not that guy. I still think that the Giants can do better with a different quarterback.
Yeah, I agree. And a lot of people even say that, Josh Allen may have taken not a major step back, but that offense doesn't look the same without Daboll there in Buffalo.
It does look a little bit different than not having Daboll there. And you can kind of see it, but still, Sean McDermott's a freaking good coach, man. He's still got – and Josh Allen is a good – I mean, there's still enough of that foundation that they're going to be okay. But, yeah, you can definitely tell that when Daboll left, that there was a little bit of that left with him. And rightfully so, right? I mean, Daboll's a good coach, good offensive coordinator. And I think that's the problem that you see with the New England Patriots is the fact when they lost. No, and Frankie, it's true though. Hey,
Shut up! You're trying to take shots on the nice side. Shut up!
No, I'm not. Calm down. Hey, calm down. I'm not.
Man, the New England Patriots problem started when Tom Brady left. That's all.
Hey, no, seriously.
That's all.
When McDaniels left. Hey, when McDaniels left the Patriots, that's when you saw Mac Jones's accelerated advancement kind of take a hit, and now he kind of went back a little bit. I think they're going to have to put an offensive coordinator.
Man, they also got to give Mac Jones some weapons.
That's true.
We're getting Bill O'Brien. That was a successful interview. It's just a matter of time when we announce him coming into.
But is that really who you want? Is Bill O'Brien really going to be the guy for you?
Yeah, I honestly I think so.
I mean, he
over
in
in
Houston, he was a really good head coach. He just was absolutely terrible.
Oh, yeah, we all know he was a terrible GM. I mean, that guy was freaking horrible.
But as a head coach, he was actually pretty good.
Jay, he also helped us get to the Super Bowl in 2011 in his one-year stunt with the Patriots.
And that's what I'm saying. As an offensive coordinator, that's probably where he will excel as an offensive coordinator. Because when he left the Texans, he went back to Nick Saban, helped the Alabama out there for a hot minute with their offense on the offensive coordinator side. And
exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. So hear what you just said. After he got done with the Houston. He went back with Nick Saban in Alabama. Who did he coach? Who did he help coach? Mac Jones, Tua Tagovailoa.
That's true. So he would have that rapport with Mac Jones already coming in.
Exactly. Which is why I think it would be a smart idea for Bill O'Brien to come back with the Patriots and coach Mac Jones. I think that would fit well. But going to Rob's point, yeah, I agree with what he said. Also, we do need more weapons on the offensive side. Devontae Parker he's not going to be able to do it all himself. Jacoby Myers, he's getting targeted way too much to where everybody's going to know where the ball is going to. So we need more weapons. I'm hoping and I'm praying that Bill Belichick makes some type of splash and making a trade for DeAndre Hopkins. That's a big news going around in the NFL.
Yeah, no, I agree with you on that too as well. I think, I thought Bill Belichick would have learned the first time with Tom Brady when he tried to go with that offensive coordinator, and we saw that did not work out well for Tom. And then he brought back in offensive coordinator, and of course they got back to their winning ways. And I think that's what's going to happen again with this New England team. And I don't know why he tried to go back to that old style. I don't know why he would do that when he knew it didn't work the first time with arguably the best quarterback on the planet. So I think that him going with either a Bill O'Brien or whoever he chooses as his offensive coordinator is only going to benefit New England. And I think New England will be back in the hunt next year under a new offensive coordinator. And I think it will get Mac Jones back on point. And it would be smart to hire Bill O'Brien, given his chemistry with Mac Jones. That would be probably a huge benefit for them.
You know what I like that the Patriots did this season and the offseason? Real quickly, they with Gerard Mayo, he had scheduled a couple of interviews as a head coaching position for Carolina and for Denver. I think Arizona as well. They were all scheduled to meet with him, and Robert Kraft came in and said, listen, we're going to give you a long-term coaching deal to return with the Patriots. And they also titled him assistant head coach, so which meaning he's probably going to be taking over as head coach when Bill Belichick leaves. And I think that's a smart idea in what the Patriots did. Gerard Mayo is that guy. I loved him. I still, till this day, wish this man still played on the field because he was a freak of nature on the defensive side for the Patriots when he was playing.
Let's talk real quick about tomorrow's games if we can. I know the early game is, I know Dallas has a late game. So the early game is going to be the Bengals and the Bills. How do you see that game unfolding?
I think this game is going to go one-sided. Buffalo.
You can't say that. You cannot say that. No.
I can, and I will, and I'll do it again. I think it's going to be one-sided. Buffalo. And to be honest, what is it about 50,000 other people who do as well.
What is it about Cincinnati that you think is all going to be one-dimensional in that game?
Besides that one fumble recovery that led into a 98-yard touchdown, the one thing that they do not do well is go after quarterbacks. And I think Josh Allen, with that short passing game, I think that's going to kill him.
Oh, you mean the short passing game that he continuously throw interceptions on? Yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah, like last week, when else?
Rob, let me ask you this. I understand where Nate's going with that, but let me ask you this. When it comes to Cincinnati and that run game with Mixon, how do you think Buffalo's defense will respond to Mixon?
I actually think Mixon might be a X factor in that game. Yeah. Because people are expecting, Smoking Joe, as I like to call him. They're expecting him to come in with that three-headed monster and Jamar Chase and Tyler Boyd and what's my other guy name?
T. Higgins.
Yeah. So they're gonna expect that. I think that's gonna open up holes for Joe Mixon where you'll be able to catch them off guard, and that's gonna be able to then open up that passing game. I don't know, Nate. Since he got too many weapons, and I think it's going to come down to can Buffalo score enough to keep up with them.
Hey, Rob, let me ask you this, and let me ask all you guys this: Has anybody here seen that movie with Brandon Fraser in it, School Ties?
No,
that sounds like an old school movie that I would never watch.
If you want to see it, it's got Matt Damon and a whole bunch of other guys in it. There's actually a really good cast of people in it. But there's one part of the show where they're in their dorm room and all these kids are singing Smokey Joe Cafe and they're all smoking cigars. And I'm telling you, hey, every time when I think about that scene in that movie now, I think about Joe Burrow, man, because I just see him being one of those guys. You know?
That's Smoking Joe. You know, when I saw he had his love for cigars, that was the nickname I had to give him.
Man, he's been smoking cigars since he won a national championship with LSU.
Wouldn't you be smoking? I'd be smoking them too. Hell yeah, let's go.
No, I'm not a cigar guy. I'm sorry. I'm gonna break the rules, and you're gonna see a blunt in my mouth. I'll take a suspension next year.
I mean, you guys already know my religion, so no, I'm not going to be smoking cigars.
I'll join them with a good cup of yak.
What's wrong, man? What's wrong with the damn Mormons? They can't enjoy a good cigar.
And we don't even go by that name anymore.
I'll see them out there on the golf course.
Oh, you're a Mormon, Nate?
We don't go by that name anymore, but yeah.
Well, what do y'all go by now?
Remember the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints?
That's too much to say. You're a fucking Mormon. Sorry. I'm sorry to say. That was just too much to say. I'm not even going to remember that. I can't remember that. I'm sorry. I have a friend out here in New York that's a Mormon.
Here, I'll type it in for you.
No,
I was going to
look.
They call themselves a Latter-day Saints, but what happened to the earlier Saints? Did they get killed or something?
We're not going to talk religion on here, Jay.
Oh, no, that was more educational hour. We're not talking religion. That's just education. But yeah, man. Hey, let me ask you this: Cowboys are going to go up against who we got? We're going to the 49ers. We know last year that this same matchup, Cowboys lost due to penalties and costly turnovers. That was just horrible.
Yeah, that's your excuse.
I went and rewatched the last 6 minutes of that game, and I just found myself just getting so irritated with that last drive that they were on. It was just ridiculous. So, again, we get a chance for redemption, right? Can the Cowboys overcome those penalties? Can they do better play calling? And can Dak protect the ball? Those were my three key strategies for them to get the win. What is y'all's opinion? I think the Cowboys can do it, but will they do it is a whole other story. That's a whole story.
Well, the real question is – go ahead, Nate.
Okay. There's two guys I'm going to keep an eye on tomorrow. One, CeeDee Lamb, because I feel like the 49ers don't have the best corner to shut down elite receivers. And then the other guy is on the opposite side of the field, Trayvon Diggs. How well is he going to do? That's what
I'm kind of more curious. Can Dallas's defense not get burnt? And obviously, that's strictly Trayvon Diggs, right? Because he'll either come up with the immaculate conception, or he's going to get burnt, and the guy's going to go in for a score.
If I had to make like a prediction on this game, I think it's going to be close. I think it's going to be the best game of the week, but I got San Francisco.
Okay.
First and goal for the Eagles, leading 14-0. They're looking to extend the lead.
They scored.
Oh, they scored. Yeah, they scored. It's 20-0 right now. Man, Giants are just getting freaking mauled.
I'm loving it. I'm loving it so much. I'm about to order some McDonald's.
I have mixed feelings.
How crazy would that be, though? But let me ask you this: how crazy would it be if it was a Dallas and Eagles NFC showdown? I mean, damn! Talk about a powerful division, right?
It's already a powerful division with just the Eagles and the Giants going against each other.
Oh yeah, right. And this,
is it really powerful though? Because the Eagles are blowing them out 21-0. So is this really dominant?
No, but it is powerful.
But it is because the Giants won last week. They proved that they were supposed to be there.
No, they won because I proved to everybody that the Minnesota Vikings were a fluke team and nobody else could see it.
For them to beat Minnesota, for what they did against Minnesota.
You said Minnesota's a good defense?
No, I said their defense is a fluke defense.
Their team is a fluke team, Nate. It's not just it's a team.
You know what? No, I agree with Nate. It's that defense. That defense. Look, Kirk Cousins didn't lose that game. He may have had one or two bad throws, but even the bad throws weren't picked off.
Yeah, but that was a dumbass play what he did for that last play.
Exactly.
That was a dumb play.
With you, Rob, but still, the defense for Minnesota ultimately was the deciding factor.
You have to get a first down. Why the hell would you throw it to three 3-yard pass into T.J. Hawkinson. What the hell was he gonna do at 3 yards?
On a 4th and 7, Rob, on a 4th and 7. So you could say this, Jay. Jay, you could say this. Kirk Cousins had a good game. He had a great game, but yes, he did also lose the game for them on that.
Well,
play.
what I'm saying is, Kirk Cousins did not lose that game for them. That game was really lost on the defensive side of the ball. You know what I'm saying? That's where I felt like that game was lost, was on the defensive side. Not so much the offense for Minnesota. It was just that defense I felt really gave that game away.
How many points did Minnesota score last week? Offensive side.
Oh man, I think wasn't it like close to, they had like close to what, 25 or 30, somewhere around there?
Yeah, I think it was 31 to 20.
34, 30, yeah, something like that.
Yeah, 30, it was 34. Okay. Well,
24,
anyway, it was like 30, it was 34-31, I think, and they won by field goal, correct?
Yeah.
It's 31 to 24. I'm looking up right now.
Well, either way, what I'm saying is the Minnesota Vikings lost by one score, is what I'm saying. Whether it be a touchdown or a field goal, it was one score that they lost by. Oh, what a time, man! But so you think so? Cowboys, Niners. Does everybody have? I'm still going. I think. Look, Cowboys are the better team. The problem is, can they put what they are on the field?
Why you say that?
Because he's a Cowboys fan, Rob.
No, the Cowboys is not the. They are not the better team over the 49ers.
Look, go back to last year. Just go back to last year. We lost it on
We're
one.
not going to last year.
No, hold on now. Well, we have to a little bit because it's almost the same damn team, right?
No, it's not the same team.
What really? Okay, what was the difference? McCaffrey is a different.
Brock Purdy and Christian McCaffrey.
Yeah, Samuel actually played.
Brock Purdy is looking to throw touchdowns. He's not out there to manage a game.
I will say one thing though to defend Jay, even though I still am picking the 49ers. Brock Purdy, this is the best defense, and it's not saying much, but it is the best defense that the 49ers are playing against so far.
Wait, you said but not much. Are you telling me that Dallas Cowboys don't have a good defense, Nate, regardless of who it is they're playing?
They have a great defense. They were the top team in. They were top team in takeaways. They have great defense.
Nate out there like, well, I'm not trying to say much for the Dallas team, but their defense, they all right.
It's more like
the thing with this
two elite players.
I think the thing with the Cowboys and the 49ers, they're going to face the same problem I think the Bills are going to face against the Bengals.
Yeah.
It is too many damn playmakers on that team. Debo can hurt you. McCaffrey can hurt you. Kittle can hurt you. Ayuk can hurt you. And like I said, I get Brock Purdy is still young, but Brock Purdy has shown me enough in a small sample size that he is looking to score. He is not out there to do what Jimmy G does and manage a game. He's looking to put foot on necks. And Purdy looks like a damn good quarterback. That is not the same team from last year. I think this San Francisco team is a lot scarier than the team that they had last year. Not to mention now, you go win. You got a healthy Trent Williams on that offensive line. You got Fred Warner out there. You got Nick Bosa on that defense. The 49ers are tough.
I'm not saying. Trust me. I'm not saying they're not tough, but you can't tell me what they have on that side of the ball on both sides, offense and/or defense. Is still better than the Cowboys. The Cowboys
offensively, yes.
The Cowboys got playmakers too. Because last time I checked, Pollard is a pretty.
All I know is CeeDee Lamb, and Pollard's okay. Pollard's okay, but if you put the Cowboys offense next to the 49ers offense, they don't compare.
I don't think that's accurate, man.
Christian McCaffrey is better than both Ezekiel Elliott and Tony Pollard.
I'm not trying to make the argument for Dak because Dak is not, the greatest quarterback in the world, but I do think Dak is a little bit better than Purdy though. I'm not saying that Purdy doesn't have a high threshold. I
don't know.
I still think that Dak.
I don't know.
A little bit more athletic.
I don't know. Wasn't y'all the same fans who were screaming to keep Cooper Rush?
I said let Cooper. As long as Cooper Rush was winning, why are you gonna mess up a good thing?
All of a sudden Dak is not that bad. But y'all was screaming, we want Cooper. Look what we did with Cooper.
Why are you saying y'all and lumping me in with everybody else?
Because I put all Cowboy fans together. I put all Cowboy fans in one group.
Man, that's just team racialness.
Jay sometimes had to be awesome.
Hey, listen, I'm not saying Rob's racist, but there's some team racialness here somewhere.
Well, it's true, Jay. Like I live over here in New York.
Hey, you just stay over there in New York, okay? Right now, me and Chicago are having a conversation.
No, listen, because there's some Cowboy fans over here in New York that literally sound just like you every time they talk about their team.
Man, look, man, you can't tell me that we don't have. Look, Dan Quinn. I gotta be honest. I like Dan Quinn. I think Dan Quinn's amazing. The weakness in our team is on the off. It's still on the offensive side of the ball. We all know that. And I don't know if it's a Kellen Moore thing, it's a Mike McCarthy thing, if it's a both thing. I'm leaning more towards Kellen Moore because
I think it's a personnel thing. It's a personnel. Ezekiel ain't been the same since he got paid. Dak, I don't think ever really truly earned that money. You know, he got money, but Dak is okay. I mean, you pay Ezekiel all this money, yet Tony Pollard gets all the carries. Like, it's not a good look over there on that offense. Sometimes sometimes it looks like CD Lamb don't even like that. It's like, dude, what are you doing?
And that may very well be. I still think my key for a Cowboy win, my key is this, man. Dak, number one, has to protect the ball. Mike McCarthy and Kellen Moore have to call a good offensive game plan. And then number three, Micah Parsons and D-Law and Armstrong have got to put up a good front seven to put pressure on the run game, which is pretty much primarily what San Francisco's known for. McCaffrey, Mitchell, Debo. You know, you just don't know which one's going to get the rock, but one of them's probably going to get the rock in a run and play of some magnitude. That doesn't mean that they don't throw the ball to Ayuk or whatever. But primarily, San Francisco is a run team. You just have to figure out which one's getting the rock, and that could be difficult.
It is going to be very difficult because they actually have a play caller on that side
Blue
of the
Ridge
ball.
Mountain.
Because this is one of the things we're not talking about. You're just talking about the talent on the field. Let's talk about the people that's running the team. And I'm sorry, I trust Shanahan a lot more than I trust McCaffrey.
Like
I said, hey, you're not going to get me standing up for Mike McCarthy too much because I never wanted the guy as my head coach to begin with. But what Shanahan does, that play calling. But he does have a ring, and last time I checked, Kyle Shanahan
has a
does.
ring.
So
he has a ring that's dusty. Kyle Shanahan has a ring.
As the head coach?
Oh, not as a head coach. You're right.
I'm talking about the head coach right now.
Yeah, but you know what? His ring is dusty.
But he either has one or he doesn't.
Mike McCarthy's ring is dusty. It don't even fit his finger.
It probably is dusty, but at least there's a ring to be dusty. Just saying.
Like I said, it don't
fit his finger. What else dust to stand?
I just feel
he needs to dust his coaching career. That's what he should be dusting.
All right, let's keep that. Let's have that same momentum going. We're talking about coaches, right? Who has a better defensive coach, Dan Quinn or DeMeco Ryans? I think Dan Quinn's better than DeMeco Ryans personally.
I think
Bill Belichick is better than both of them.
But if you bring it up head coach,
that's not even a question, Frankie.
If you bring it up head coach stints, didn't Dan Quinn? Wasn't he the head coach of a team who?
Well, no, when I'm talking about Dan
the
Quinn,
biggest disappointment in Super Bowl history.
Coordinator. I'm not talking about him as a head coach. I'm talking about him as a.
I'm just saying.
But even with that, Dan Quinn did get to a Super Bowl.
He did, and then his defense, and it's ironic that he is the defensive coordinator when his team was up 28-3 or 24-3.
Yeah,
the defense fell apart. The defense fell apart and let Tom Brady do whatever he wanted to do.
Hey, listen, for that first half, Atlanta looked like the best thing on the planet Earth. And then when it came to that second half, they took the pressure off of Brady. And when they did that, well, then it was a tale of two halves.
All I know is it was a beautiful Super Bowl, and I'm just glad I have a ring to prove it.
Hey, but you know what? And I will tell you, that's the one downside that I have on Dan Quinn. I felt like had he not taken that pressure off of Tom Brady, Frankie's not talking about a ring over there. He's talking about a defeat. And that would have been the third one. But they took the pressure off. They took the pressure off. And that's the thing. I've been saying this since day one when Tom Brady got the butt fumble out there against the Oakland Raiders. I've been saying this since day one. You put pressure on Brady. If you can get pressure on Brady, you can beat him. If you don't get pressure on Brady, you're most likely going to lose.
The butt fumble was the New York Jets.
You know what I'm talking about. Back when he played against the Raiders, though, and got that.
Hey, I hear you saying that, but that man won 7 Super Bowls out of 10. You say what you want to say.
I'm not knocking Tom Brady. Don't get me wrong. Hey, Tom Brady is.
I like to say that his record in the Super Bowl is 7 and NFC East.
But you got to admit that second half. You got to admit that Atlanta let off the gas. Defensively, they let off the gas.
That's what I'm saying. Who was the head coach of that team, Jay?
You can just say.
I get that. As a head coach, I don't like Dan Quinn. As a defensive coordinator, I think he's the best thing out there.
Hey, don't get me wrong. That Dallas defense is rough and tough, and I'm not taking anything away from them. You know, as mentioned, the team with the highest takeaways in the league. I know what Dallas defense can do, but it's going to be a tall task because now you're going to be playing guessing games. Who has the ball? Who is the ball going to? Because Brock Purdy has a plethora of weapons out there that he can use.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah. He himself is a weapon.
Yes.
He's got a nice run game.
He do. He can move his feet.
But I want to ask you guys something because I had breaking news earlier today with Adam Schefter and stuff that if the 49ers make it to the NFC Championship game, they might be considering playing Jimmy Garoppolo because he looks like he's coming back. And if it's not going to be for the NFC, if it's not for the NFC Championship game, it's most likely if they make it to the Super Bowl that they'll probably play him then.
That'll be the dumbest. If the 49ers do that, they deserve to lose.
Oh, absolutely, they deserve to lose.
I mean,
I'm not taking out Brock Purdy because Brock Purdy has shown me so far that he can use the weapons out there.
But
he hasn't lost yet.
I agree with you guys, but I can see where Kyle Shanahan is coming from. Don't say I agree with it, but I can see where he's coming from. Brock Purdy was literally the last pick in the draft, and this is his rookie season. I'm not saying that it's going to happen, but I can definitely see a path where he costs the 49ers a game off of a bad interception.
I can see that from Jimmy G too because we've seen it before.
I'm about to say it's not like Jimmy G has the best record.
It's not like Tom Brady is coming back. It's Jimmy G.
I always say, man,
Tom Brady.
If you're winning the playoffs with Purdy, there's no way you're taking him out at this point. Your chemistry is set. Your momentum is set. Why would you mess with either one of those two things? Is beyond me.
Jay, stop talking to check if Mel's okay. She's coughing up a lung over there.
Who is Mel?
No, that's not Mel. That was my wife.
Oh, Rob, go check on her. See if she's okay.
She good. I'm looking at her.
Oh my
She getting over a cold.
Rob says, "Hey, listen, man. I know how to do the Heimlich. I'm looking at her. She's good. I throw some throat spray out there. She counted.
She getting over a cold, man. As you know, we've been having weird weather in Chicago. It get cold, and then it get like semi-nice, and then it gets cold again. It's all over the place.
Same thing.
It's snowed out
hey,
here
that Chicago weather ain't no joke.
In fact, it snowed in the small town that I lived in, just not the part I'm at.
So I
where you're at, nobody wants to live. That's why they call it Seattle or Washington. You're up there in Washington, right? You're in Washington.
Washington.
Yeah, man. Jeez Louise, man. That's
I heard the people are very nice out there in Seattle.
So
it's very depressing out there. There's very little sun. It's a whole lot of rain. God, I'd have to up my meds.
I'd rather have lots of rain than humidity and tornadoes.
You know what? You know what? That's because people like you need to stay up north. You're not prepared for tornadoes and hurricanes like we are. You just stay up north.
I grew up with tornadoes and hurricanes. Yeah, I'm prepared for it.
You guys, So Rob mentioned Tom Brady a moment ago. Where do you guys think Tom Brady will land? It looks to me, both the team and himself, it seems like he's not going to return to Tampa next year.
Oh hell no!
There's
He
about
going to
5
Vegas.
teams. There's about
I
5
don't think he
there
should
is no
return.
there is no way on earth Tom Brady does not wind up with the Raiders.
He is going to
no way.
Vegas. He
I
is going
don't
to Vegas.
I agree with Jay. I don't see Tom Brady. Are you telling me that he's now going to have to see his kids less than half the time?
He's already seen his kids less.
He's going to Vegas.
Hey, listen,
On the
I'll tell you
other
right
side of
now.
the coast,
Hey,
I'm
Raiders.
sorry,
Hey,
I
Raiders
don't.
got an opening. Tom's looking for a team, and
They
Josh
got
McDaniels is
Devontae
the
Adams.
coordinator.
Josh
You don't tell
McDaniels
me
is
they're
there.
gonna perfect marriage in paradise.
There's one team I can see that Tom going to may actually make some sense, and that's Nashville and Tennessee.
What?
No.
But are you telling me that he's gonna have to throw to who?
Would he rather?
Wait,
throw
are you
to-
talking about with Tennessee, or are you talking about with the Raiders?
Tennessee.
He's
Yeah,
gonna
Yeah, I
he's
don't-
gonna have what? Burke and Woods.
Yeah. And then, but
I'm
if you go to the
sorry.
Raiders, you got
Burke, he's got
Renfro,
Woods,
you got
and that's
Devontae
really about
Adams,
it.
he got, they got a nice little running
With the
game out there.
Raiders? Okay.
You know,
okay.
hey, let me ask you,
if
you
wanna
don't
make
think
the
Tom wants
Devontae
to
Adams
link
argument,
up with Hunter Renfro and Darren Waller and Devontae Adams, and he's got a running back in Josh Jacobs.
If you want
Josh Jacobs, yeah.
If you want to make that argument, let's go back to Tampa. He had Chris Godwin and he had Mike Evans.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but he
but-
did not
but
have
they
a good
both-
forward.
they
Him and
both were-
Leftwich were not on the same
They
page.
both were a step slower.
I'm sorry.
Chris Godwin was definitely a step slower after that injury. And Mike Evans has never really been a guy that he's just a big dude.
Well,
And
but again,
not to
Tom
mention,
Brady was
Tom Brady
outside of
didn't
Bruce
have the
Arians.
offensive line to protect him either.
Yeah, I mean, outside of Bruce Arians, though, Tom has never really clicked with anybody on that coaching staff. He clicked with Byron Leftwich during the Super Bowl run, but after that, once he lost Gronkowski, that really was the end of Tom. Let's be honest. When he lost Gronkowski and Gronkowski decided not to come back, that really was the end of Tom in Tampa. Now, if he goes to the Raiders, he's got a big guy like Darren Waller, which is just basically the African-American version of Gronkowski.
I wouldn't go that
Big,
far.
I wouldn't go that far, Jay.
I wouldn't go that far.
That's
Hey,
way.
go
That's
that
like
far.
Hey, why not? He can catch. He can.
I would
run.
say you could say maybe Antonio Gates or something, but nah, Gronkowski is a different monster, dude.
I don't know. I mean, I get what you're
Only
saying.
person you can
Big
compare to
red
Gronk.
target.
Only person you can compare to Gronk right now is Travis Kelce.
I mean, I think you're discounting. I think you're discounting.
Is good.
You can compare Darren Waller to T.J. Hawkinson.
Shut the hell up! No, you cannot.
I wouldn't go
Yes,
that.
you
I wouldn't
can.
go that
No,
bad,
that's
but
disrespectful.
I wouldn't go that. I wouldn't go that bad. But comparing him to Gronk, Gronk got the job done.
God, all I know,
All the time.
I want to re-nickname Frankie C to Skip Bayless right now.
But I will say this though, Tom would relish playing with a guy like Waller, because he loves tight ends that can catch the ball and do some things. But not to mention he'll have a running game again. And Tom Brady is known for the play action. Him having that running game, him having a guy like Josh Jacobs is really gonna open it up. And then you got Devontae Adams and Hunter Renfro out there to throw the ball to.
Think about that, right? Hunter Renfro, another tough-nailed, slot guy that can get you they can do the hard-nosed things like, back in the day, like Welker or Amendola or whatever, Edelman. He could be that kind of guy for you. And then you got Waller, like I said, with a big tight end that he can still throw the ball to wide up. And then you got freaking speedy-ass Devontae Adams. I mean, how much more do you need?
You need to stop. You literally need to stop. You just compared Renfro to Welker Edelman, and Amendola. And then
First of all,
Waller,
Walker, that is a pretty good comparison because I look at Hunter Renfrow as a very good slot receiver. I look at Edelman and Amendola as good slot receivers. So yeah,
you're insane right now. I want whatever you're drinking or whatever you're smoking.
Listen, I can get it to you, but you know, you can't tell me that you know me. You gotta tell them that you know like Nate or something. You got it from Nate. I'll mail it to Nate, and Nate can mail it to you.
Nate, like, what do I got to do with this?
I'll just throw it away.
It's just mind blowing.
I just think Tom Brady to the Raiders is going to be a setup for disaster.
Hey, I don't know, Nate. All I know is, man, there's a condom that should have been used somewhere in there, but I don't know.
Hold on, set up for disaster. The man won 6. How when he won 6 Super Bowl rings with Josh McDaniels, who will be a head coach
as an offensive coordinator, not a head coach. Those are two very different positions.
It's play calling. It's play calling from the same person. He will get play calling from Josh McDaniels, who gets the final say so as a head coach. The same way he got it when he was with New England as an offensive coordinator. So how is that different? Exactly. Thank you for coming to my TED Talk. You already said That's my point exactly.
That was a TED Talk?
Yep, because you don't know what to say. You said
I don't know what to say because you
exactly.
don't let me
exactly
finish saying what I'm going to say.
There's nothing for you. There's nothing for you to say. It's not like the man is going from Todd Bowles to like freaking the Jets who Roberts, whatever his name is. It's not like that. He will be going to a man that he got played call from and won 6 Super Bowl rings with.
Man, and I know I'm switching subjects on this one, but have y'all seen the issue that's coming out of the Derica Hamby and the Aces in terms of the trade that they made for her to go to the Sparks? She's claiming basically unethicalness on that trade in terms of bullying, manipulation, and several other things from the Aces to the Sparks. Did y'all see that? Have y'all saw that on ESPN or anything?
No, my focus was on
she's claiming that she was lied to, she was bullied, manipulated, and discriminated against. In that the fact that she got pregnant and they traded her while she was pregnant from the Aces to the Sparks, and so she's claiming basically unethical treatment. Which is I kind of see where she's coming from. She was
yes, sir. Yes, sir. Let's go, Jalen.
Man, I told you, man. Hey, Hurts ain't nothing to play with this year, man. He's looking pretty damn good.
I'm about to end my undefeated playoff record for this year.
Oh, you picked Giants and over the Eagles?
Yep, but that was a really dumb move.
Well, hey, I don't know, man. Hey, look, anybody on any given Sunday can come out and get a win. I mean, hey, you took a chance. Yeah, Philadelphia was a stronger
if
team.
If the Giants somehow come back and win this, I would go, this would be my 8th game I got right.
I'm about to buy an Eagles shirt and walk around with it.
You said what?
I'm going to buy an Eagles shirt and just walk around with it and upset everybody over here.
Oh, dude, you would not wear no Eagles shirt. No self-respect.
You're right. I really won't. I won't. You're right.
Hey, I'm about to say that happened.
Hey, and put it and going into the Patriots Stadium.
Hey, let me ask you this, guys. Hey, if you're the Eagles, how long do you allow your starters to stay in this game? If you're already up 27-0 and you're 43 seconds away from the half, which most likely this will just be some garbage bullshit, and then we'll get into half at 27-0. At what point, if you're the Eagles, do you start pulling starters and say, you know what? All right, we good.
Don't. Have you seen the Chargers game last week?
Yeah, I get that. No, you're right. Look, I'm just asking a question. At some point, do you pull them or do you let them play the whole game?
Keep letting them play. It's the playoffs. It's the regular season.
I don't know, man. Hey, listen, if I'm still up 27-7 and I've got like 10 minutes left to go in the fourth, I ain't gonna lie to you, man. I'm probably gonna pull my guys. At least on offense. I'll probably leave my defensive guys out there, but I'm gonna pull my offensive guys, and I'll probably start putting my second string guys in there in the fourth quarter. and just rely on my first string defense to keep them at bay.
Okay, maybe the last drive.
You said what?
I said maybe the last drive.
You said the last drive. Yeah, right.
Maybe the
But
last 2 minutes.
man. So who's all Super Bowl? Who's your Super Bowl guys? Who's your teams? Look, Frankie?
For the AFC, I'm gonna have to say Kansas City Chiefs. For the NFC, I want to say the San Francisco 49ers.
Woo-wee!
Super Bowl
Rob?
52 rematch.
I'm
Or Super Bowl
going.
54 rematch. Sorry.
I'm going. Chiefs versus Eagles.
God, yeah, that's a hard one, man. Nate?
Bills over the 49ers.
Bills over the 49ers, man. Damn. Yeah, I think out of the AFC side of life, I don't think the Chiefs are going to be enough. I think that in my personal feeling, I feel like that hobbled high ankle sprain that's got Mahomes down. I think that's just going to be too much for him to overcome. And I do think it's going to be a matter of, do I think it's going to be the Bills or the Bengals that take it away from them? And I got to be honest with you, man. I'm riding Joe Burrow, Smokey Joe, man. I think Smokey Joe's going to get to the damn Super Bowl again. I just think that team is strong. He's strong. And I don't think anything's going to slow him down. Jamar Chase is ready to go. I don't think it's going to slow them guys down. So, and then they got T. Higgins and you got Boyd. I mean, that team is just stacked offensively. So I don't, the only thing that worries me about Cincinnati is they got to make sure that offensive line can give Joe Burrow some sort of time to operate back there to make those throws. But if they can do that, I got Bengals in the Super Bowl. And then on the other side, is it going to be the 49ers? Is it going to be the Eagles? I think the Eagles are no, I'm going to go 49ers in this. I just think it's their year, man. I want the Cowboys to get in there, but at the same time, I'm not going to – I do see what's on the opposite side of the ball. And unlike most people, I'm not a delusional Cowboys fan. I understand the risks that are inherent there. So, yeah, I'm going to go with 4. And plus, truthfully, I want McCarthy gone, and I want Sean Payton brought in. So, in order for that to happen and to get rid of Dak, I got to kind of go that direction. So, I'm going to go with 49ers Bengals Super Bowl. And I think Smokey Joe comes away with the win.
Jay, I'm going to ask you a question, slightly off topic, but you said something. I just wanted to see what your thoughts were.
Yeah.
You said that you want Hackett. I mean, not Hackett. Why did that name come up? You said you want Mike McCarthy to be gone.
Yeah,
but you also said you really like Dan Quinn as a defensive coordinator. Now,
I do like Dan.
Bringing this up. 2 of the final candidates for the head coaching job in Denver are Dan Quinn and Sean Payton.
Oh, yeah, I understand. Yeah, trust me, I saw that. I saw that where Dan Quinn was being mentioned over there. I don't know that they hired Dan Quinn. I think if they're going to hire anybody, especially Sean Payton. Now, of course, it's going to depend on where Sean Payton wants to go. But how do you not give Sean Payton the job over Dan Quinn? I'm not going Dan Quinn. I'm going Sean Payton. If I have the opportunity, I'm going Sean Payton.
Draft capital. Because we're going to have to give something up if we go and hire Sean Payton.
That's all right. Give up a little bit of draft capital. You'd be all right. Your team is good enough to win, Nate. It's just Hackett was a shitty coach, and it just didn't turn out that way. I think when you bring in the all-star lineup of coaches –
offensive line is not that good.
Yeah, but you can reinvent that through free agency and other means. And you will have – some second-round picks in there to build offensive linemen. There's going to be a lot of offensive line. I think you'll be fine. I think you're better off going with Sean Payton than Dan Quinn. Even if you brought in Dan Quinn, what if he sucks? Then you're like, damn, I passed up on Sean Payton. I could have had Sean Payton for a draft pick. Okay.
If we didn't have to trade anything to get Sean Payton, I would agree with you.
Well, you got to give up something to get something.
Well, I'm saying how really good is Sean Payton? I mean, he had Drew Brees.
I like Sean Payton better as a head coach. I agree with that. But our offensive line
you don't think Sean Payton knows they got to give up a draft pick to bring him in? You don't think Sean Payton doesn't look at Denver Broncos and see what his team he has to work with. I would trust Sean Payton more than and I like Dan Quinn as a coordinator. Again, I think he's a better coordinator than he is a head coach. I just do. I believe that. So that's why I would go with Sean Payton. I think Sean Payton is a legitimate head coach, and whoever he brings in to run your defense is going to be fine, and they're going to be fine. And I think you take the risk, and I think you go that direction. Especially since you put all that money to bring Russell Wilson over. You better make sure you have the right guy.
I don't think they're going to do it.
I mean, nobody knows, right? But I do think the better option, yes, it will cost you a draft pick, maybe a little compensation, whatever. But I do think that that's the better route for Denver is to go the Sean Payton route. If I could get Sean Payton, I would love to get Sean Payton.
I like Dan Quinn because he's more of like a player's coach. And he does have connection in Seattle because he was a defensive coordinator for in Seattle with Russ there.
God, that's a beautiful kid. Jesus.
Wow.
You know, it's hard to imagine that
Frankie
do something like
that. Look at the little baby.
Let me take the earpiece off. Hold on so she can hear you guys.
Hey, each one of y'all gets $10 if you can tell me what her name is.
How would we know that?
Because he mentioned it in the group chat. If you're really his friend, you would know that. Nate, do you know? Well, let Uncle Jay tell you. It's Carson, thank you.
Oh.
I'll give you $100 if you can name all of
you talking about the Uncle Jay that don't call nobody?
Hey, you shut your mouth. Let me see. I'm gonna tell you all of my nieces. I got Avery, which is the oldest. I got the twins, which is Mariah and Gemma, and then I got my youngest, Carson. And look how beautiful Carson is. Jeez Louise, he's beautiful. God, I think some DNA testing needs to go on in that household.
That is a pretty baby.
And it just looks that's all Frankie. You can tell. All Frankie's kids look like Frankie. They all look like little carbon copies of Frankie. They just have better hairlines. All right. Hey, let's get into final thoughts so we can get ready to watch the rest of this game and get into tomorrow's games. Round the horn, we shall go. Rob Scott, final thoughts.
Man, I'm loving football. I think these were some great playoff games this year. Hopefully the Giants can make it somewhat competitive in the second half, but definitely excited about tomorrow, man. Let's get it.
Hell yeah. Nate, final thoughts, man.
Final thoughts is
and it better not start off with anything that has Kool-Aid or Jim Jones in it, but go ahead.
I don't even drink Kool-Aid.
I do, and don't come at Kool-Aid. Kool-Aid is delicious.
Hey, listen, I come at anybody that has Kool-Aid that's bringing it after Jim Jones.
I love Kool-Aid.
No, I lost my train of thought. Thank you. What was I going to say?
How awesome Kool-Aid is.
I don't even drink it. Okay. Final thoughts is now that the Lakers have beaten the Grizzlies. I wanted to see how long it takes before my team goes and loses their streak.
Hell yeah. Oh, by the way, Rob, have you seen how good that center for Houston is, that Sagoon? I was talking to Frankie about it earlier. That Sagoon is putting up some triple points, man.
Houston got a nice young core. They got a bright future ahead of them.
Bro, I'm telling you, man. Hey, that's Sagoon. Hey, he's 20. He's only 20, but he's getting triple doubles in there. I'm like, damn. Okay, let's go. Shit. What a time to be alive. Frankie,
Jay Love is Texas. Pearland.
Damn, what a time to be alive. Jeez Louise, I can't wait till the World Series starts for little league kids. No, but hey, my final thoughts, and then Frankie's gonna get us out of here, man. Hey, my final thoughts is, geez, what a time to be alive, man. Can the Cowboys erase the demon that has plagued them for the last 20 plus years? There's a demon that's been around the Cowboys organization for a hot minute, ever since Jimmy Johnson left the organization. And I hope they can get it back, man. I hope this. I don't have high expectations, but good Lord, man, Cowboys, damn, do something, man. Change the narrative. Just change the damn narrative. Is that too much to ask? That's all I'm asking for Christmas this year is change the narrative. Frankie, get us out of here, brother.
Yeah, my final thoughts is to answer your question, Jay. There is a demon, and his name is your owner, Jerry Jones. That's the demon. Other than that, man. Other than that, Lakers got the win yesterday. Huge win over the Memphis Grizzlies, and I'm not gonna stop harassing Randy over that. I'm gonna keep it going until the Memphis Grizzlies can beat us in the next go around.
Shout out to Shannon Sharp.
And also facts. Also, enjoy your game tonight. Fly Eagles fly, because that's what they're doing right now all over the Giants. 27-0 at halftime. Great game going on right here. I love to see the Giants get blown out. It's just so amazing. It puts a smile on my face every time I see the Giants get blown out like this. But other than that, we here at Unscripted want to thank everybody for watching. Thank you for taking time on your Saturday night to stop by and comment, like, and share our stream. Thank you for Nate to come by. Thank you, Rob Scott, for coming by. Even thank you, Jay McLovin, for letting me moderate this night's Unscripted show. We are out of here, and we will be back Tuesday at 7 p.m. Yep, 7 p.m. Eastern Time. Sorry that Robert Duran Jr. did not come by. Hopefully, I can get him to come back next week. Hopefully, during the weekdays where the earlier time slot for us is best for him. But we're going to try and get him back for you guys here at Unscripted. Thank you for watching, and we'll catch you guys on Tuesday.
Hey, tell them where they can find us on Twitter, Frankie.
Twitter. You can find us on Twitter at Unscripted Guys, all one word. You can also find us on TikTok, Unscripted Sports, all one word.
Deuces. Everybody have a good weekend. Y'all be good.